What's up, everybody? This is Obelisk again, that guy with a strange name, and it's time for my new main Let's Play series, and this is probably going to be the most ambitious one I have done yet. A very deep game, and quite a great game as well. My Game of the Year choice for 2011, my absolute favorite game. I liked it more than Rage, more than Gears of War 3, more than Portal 2. It's Deus Ex Human Revolution. So let's get started. The first things I want to do here at the main menu is I want to go and adjust the brightness because this is a very dark game, and much like BioShock, we have no flashlight. So I'm going to adjust the brightness and turn it way up so in my recording setup I can actually see what's going on, because if I didn't do that I would not be able to see what's going on. Anyway, we have 3 difficulty levels here. And we're going to go with the medium one because the difficulty levels in this game don't really affect that much. It just depends on how quickly you will die in a firefight, essentially. But more on that later. As you may notice here, this is a cutscene. I am going to be showing all the cutscenes in this game and all the storyline content, so this is going to be the full thing, the whole game, 100%, all of the side quests, all of the collectibles, and all, like I said, all the cutscenes and all the dialogue, mini games and all the other stuff like that. So I will be showing, there will be spoilers. I will warn for major spoilers of plot-related events. But I will be taking the liberty of talking over in-game dialogue. The subtitles are default to on, so you'll have the subtitles to read if you want to listen to the dialogue and you can't hear the characters over me. But I highly recommend you play the game along with me. And if this is your first time playing, you might want to stay away from an LP anyway, unless you're playing along with me. Then to avoid spoilers and that sort of thing. So don't complain about me ruining the dialogue by talking over it, because it's a Let's Play. That's the way it's supposed to be done. Anyway, we start out here with our this strange man talking to some other strange people through the interwebs. I smell a conspiracy going on here. This all takes place in the future, in the year 2027. Although this is actually a prequel to the Deus Ex trilogy, or this is the 3rd game in the series, but it's a prequel in the timeline. So a lot of the stuff from the previous games is not around yet. Yeah, that character right there, Eliza Cassan, she looks pretty good as far as the graphics are concerned, but the graphics are definitely not the standout point for this game. It's mainly the presentation. The atmosphere is just tremendous. So enter Megan Reed and Adam Jensen, our 2 main characters here. I wonder which one we play as. Well, gee, if you saw the menu screen, I think you can figure it out.
No, we won't be going through the terminal. It's too exposed. Yes. I'm glad you understand. Good night, idiot.
Nice one, Jensen. You just called a Major an idiot.
Something wrong?
No, not for me, it isn't. But you keep
Newspapers are also awesome in the future, by the way. It's like everyone has disposable tablets, essentially.
Come on, Meg. You've defended your research before.
That was different. Then it was all just theories. But this discovery...
These 2 are obviously very close, as you can
big.
tell.
Kepler big. Rosetta Stone big.
So, what's the problem?
They'll want to know how I found it.
Are you gonna tell us how you found it? No? Okay.
Good. You need something, boss? Yeah.
So this is David Seraph. This is our boss. We work for him, and he is the owner of a corporation that makes augmentations to enhance human capabilities. This is what it's like in the future. Augmentations are the new be-all, end-all of everything, according to what a character says later on.
I hate it when he does that. Come on, I'll walk you part way.
We'll go into detail about what some of these augmentations are later. Now, we're finally in control of the game here. It's a first-person shooter kind of setup with very RPG style, as well as I'll describe later on. But before we leave and talk to Megan to progress the next dialogue scene, I want to go ahead and interact with her computer and read all her emails so we can have that reading material for our log later. There's also several objects we can interact here, including this Matchbox car and this picture frame over here. I think there's something else in the room too. But if we interact with all these, we get a little achievement. So that's something that you could do, and also add some more dialogue if you're interested. But I mainly just wanted to show off the ones that I knew immediately where they were right off the top of my head, instead of
Remembers you.
going through all the details. I mean, I might miss one because I've already had the achievement, so. Anyway, this whole video is pretty much going to be the introduction of the game. And while this dialogue sequence is going through, I'm just going to go ahead and explain a few things about the game. This is probably the only game in the Deus Ex franchise I'm going to Let's Play because it's the newest one. It only came out like half a year ago. It's the most simplistic of all of them as well, and it's the first in the timeline, so there's really no reason why not to do this one first. I might consider doing the PS2 version of the original game titled Deus Ex: The Conspiracy. That's if I can beat it enough times and get good at it. A little bit of history about Deus Ex. The Deus Ex came out in 2000 and was essentially the first FPS, RPG hybrid. The kind of game formula we now refer to as basically the Fallout 3 formula. Yeah, that game started it. You don't remember it like that now, do you? But this game is a lot more simplistic. It still has quite a few RPG elements to it, as I'll describe later on. And it is adapted more of a Mass Effect style of dialogue choices and that sort of thing. We don't have any control over that yet. Jensen is pretty much saying what he feels like.
Watch it, Eddie. Those boxes are worth more than your salary.
Sorry. Nia, you almost ready?
For Washington? Huh.
That's reassuring. Interesting thing right here, as you probably can immediately tell if you've played Splinter Cell, you know immediately who this is. This guy's voiced by right here. Unfortunately, this is the only time we see this character in the game, so old Lambert here has no relevance to the game's story, sadly. But this is a nice plot point right over here. They're demonstrating this weapon called the Typhoon. Let's give this thing a spin. No, wow. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. And like I said, that'll also be a plot point and a weapon we can actually acquire in the game. But more on that later.
You're right. The teacher would just love having.
Jensen's line right there is actually rather
Defense contracts keep
rudely accurate. A teacher would love when I had one of those things. His sarcasm is very appropriate.
Everybody's lives. David's talked about it for years.
Yeah, he is a talker.
He's a good man. Admit it, Adam. A part of you likes him.
I like everyone, Dr. Reed.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, Jensen is not exactly a scientist like Megan is. He's just a security guard, essentially. He's the head chief of security here at Seraph Industries.
I forgot to leave her a key so she can walk.
And
He's gotten big, you know. Keeps knocking.
Seraph is one of the only companies like this that has a private security force. Most of them have outside contractors, and we'll discover more about those kind of characters later on.
Me too. About a lot of things.
These scenes actually have quite a lot of emotion in them and quite a lot of authentic dialogue. Watching them the second time.
Good evening.
Evening, Pritchard.
Pritchard.
So,
Yeah, it doesn't seem like these characters seem all that interesting the first time through the game, but after you've played it a couple times, which I've played this game 3 times already, which is what inspired me to do the Let's Play.
something, Jensen.
You fixed that firewall yet?
You don't fix an entire firewall. You find the loop.
I mean, this game has like infinite replay value just because of the sheer different ways you can do things, and I'll talk more about that later when we talk about the different alternate paths through levels and the different choices you can make. It's not like
Nice to see you too.
it's not so much the dialogue choices you make, it's more so the path through the levels, which is a Deus Ex staple.
Locator devices. In case you're
This game is in many ways faithful to the original 2, but also very simplified and updated to fit a more modern FPS RPG hybrid sort of game. And now we're gonna walk very slowly into our boss's office.
I don't care what it takes. I want you, Darrow, in Washington.
And he's got a damn nice office too.
jump for anyone. He's a Nobel Prize winner.
Senators love this guy, Lyle. The hearings will go much smoother with him there. Big day for us tomorrow.
You can count on
Yes,
us.
sir. Capitol Police will escort us to the hill, and then Federal Protection Services takes over.
Good, good.
I kind of like the name Seraph, though. I've liked that since the first time I played the game. I was like, that's an awesome name, although it sounds very Matrixy. But this game looks very Matrixy as well, especially with the character design for Jensen. It doesn't look quite as Matrixy as J.C. Denton did in the original game, but we won't go there. But Seraph is not spelled with a PH. Oh crap, what's going on?
Malfunction. Laboratory subsection 6. All lab chiefs, please report in.
We better not take any chances. Not tonight. Use my elevator to get down there. You know the code?
Yeah, 0451.
Let me know what you find. I think to get someone to shut off the damn racket.
Yes, sir.
Well, so much for getting to relax before the big day. You heard him. We have a code we have to enter in. Oops, I messed it up. On the panel here to be able to use his executive elevator to get down to the where the disturbance is.
Pritchard, where's Megan? She report in yet?
Her GPL implant shows her moving through the microchem labs. I think
Sounds like there's interference. Like I can't hear him very well.
Must have been a serious equipment failure. Can you get eyes on her?
I'm trying, but the intellicams aren't responding. There's interference coming from somewhere. Find out what's happening, Jensen. Hurry!
Pritchard? Pritchard!
Alright, well, sounds like things are getting serious, so time for some combat. We automatically pull out our combat rifle here as our default weapon, and we're basically going to go through the tutorial level here. Now, it'll explain to you the basics of the controls if you want to go through all that tutorial, but essentially, the control scheme for the Xbox 360 version, the version that I'm playing, is very similar to that of Rainbow Six Vegas 2 if you ever played that. The sprint button is the same, the zoom button is the same, the shoot button is the same, etc, etc, etc. The cover button is the same. Uh-oh, looks like we're under attack, and by some heavily augmented guys as well. This guy looks like a frickin' super soldier. Another thing, as you can see, we can do is we can move objects around, such as those boxes, in a very Half-Life 2-esque manner. We can also crawl through vents in a very Half-Life 2-esque manner. I already love this game. Then, as you can see, we can take cover and aim around corners like so. The cover system is also very good in this game as well. Now that we're approaching some enemies here, which are just some generic soldiers, now is when I want to discuss the difference between combat and stealth, which are the two ways you're going to be going throughout levels in this game. I chose combat for these first two guys just to show off the shooting mechanics there, and I actually did not do a very good job of hitting those guys. But I'm getting used to how the laser sight acts on my tiny screen for my recording setup, so I had a hard time hitting them. But this combat rifle is pretty good. It's pretty reliable. It's got the laser sight. It makes a pretty awesome noise, and it's pretty much the only thing we need for taking out these guys. We also currently have no HUD, and I believe we have unlimited ammo as a result. But don't worry, that'll be fixed later on, for reasons I'm not going to spoil yet. We can pretty much peek around this corner here and take these guys out with one headshot each. The enemies do get slightly tougher as the difficulty raises, but most enemies will die with single headshots, even from rapid-fire weapons like this. But it's not like a Call of Duty sense of just enemies dying and yourself dying way too fast with way too few bullets, in the sense that it balances out by having ammo itself being very rare. So the amount of ammo you possess is equivalent to how many kills you can make, essentially. Another heavily augmented super soldier. Huh, that guy managed to get the door open for us. But then these guys down here are going to start pouring in. I'm going to try to shoot them if I can get my laser sight aimed at them. Nice thing about it, though, is you can kind of line up your shot from behind the cover and then just pop out and make your shot. That's how I take out a lot of enemies in this game. But there is an achievement in this game called Pacifist, and it's where you go through the entire game without killing anyone except for bosses. Which means at this point you would have to withdraw your weapon and go through this whole level without shooting at any of these guys. And it is possible. I've done it, and I will go through many of the levels in this game demonstrating stealth techniques and avoiding encounters. Now, and since I couldn't make up my mind whether or not I wanted to do an all stealth or an all combat run through this game, since I didn't want to do 3 separate runs for the different variations of stealth and combat, I just decided I'm gonna vary it up based on the level. Some levels stealth, some levels combat. Ooh! Ow! Well, looks like there's 3 of these guys, I guess. Yeah, we don't look so good anymore. I don't think we're going to be fighting back against this guy anytime soon. Oh, thanks, Megan. Could have done that a lot sooner. Dude, don't you be hitting my woman. Give me that back. You know how much I like revolvers. And cut to the opening credits. Now, I love this opening credits sequence. I think this is really cool. Plus, the music is totally awesome. In fact, the scene doesn't even give the music enough justice. The soundtrack in this game overall is pretty tremendous.
Come on, Annie. Stay with us.
So we died, but as you can see, they're doing a lot of surgery on us. And they're augmenting us to make us more than human. And also to save our lives. But will the transformation be worth it? Will we like our new augmentations, or will we feel like we've lost our humanity?
I love you.
Only time will tell, I suppose.
Haven't you lost enough people today?
Look, we're even getting our arms replaced and everything.
We're seconds away. His body can take it.
Controlled evolution. Who wouldn't want that? Great job, Michael McCann, on the music, by the way.
Give him the info link. Fine. Give me the telecom package.
So awesome.